Everybody. I want to welcome you to Sunday Night Ewing Global. As you all know, my name is Mike Geddes, and I'm excited to be here tonight, and I want to welcome everybody to the training. We're going to have this recorded, so if you want a copy of it, we'll send it out to you ASAP. So what I want to talk to you about tonight is your list is your bread and butter. Okay, everybody always, asks me, Mike, why is it so important to make a list of names and everything? Because, listen, that's your bread and butter, folks. When I was in the restaurant business, my list was my bread and butter. And you might say, in the restaurant business, you made a list? Absolutely. Before we opened, we made a list of everybody that we wanted to invite to our restaurant, the bar restaurant, the first week that we opened up. Why? Because that would create residual customers in our restaurant business. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, okay? If you're in a grocery store, candy store, it doesn't matter. Most people let everybody know that they're opening their business. Well, why, when people come into the network marketing profession, they're scared to go and talk to people? Listen, don't be scared, folks. People are looking for you. You just don't know they're looking for you yet. So there's 5 things that I want you to remember. I call it 5 steps to remember regarding your list. Number 1, people don't bite. Listen, if you offer somebody this opportunity, they can only say 2 things to you: yes, no. They're either interested or they're not interested. Now, either they're interested maybe in becoming an associate, a distributor, or maybe they'll be interested in becoming a customer. If they say no to both, that's okay. When I had my restaurant and I told people, hey, we're opening up the restaurant, I told them where it was. Some people said, that's great. Some people said, I don't want to travel there. Some people said this. Some people said that. Hey, that's okay. No big deal. We're still friends. Okay? And that goes into step number 2 is don't prejudge people. Don't prejudge anybody that you want to give the opportunity to. Folks, listen, there's no company out there that has the products that Manatech has. None, period. I know all the companies in this profession, folks. I've been around this industry a long, long time, and I'll just let you know, nobody has the products and the science that we have in helping you have a healthier, stronger body and giving you the opportunity to slow that growth rate down. And that's what's important. Now you just got to find out where you want to, talk to people about. So you don't want to prejudge people, okay? You want to tell people about this. I know people that I spoke to that didn't take advantage of it, and now I know they wish they did take advantage of it. All right? You know what? You might have lady friends and guy friends that are starting to get a little older and wrinkly and everything. You know what? They're going to want to use our skincare products. And when they learn about the science behind our skincare products, they're going to say, man, I don't need to go to Macy's and all these other stores anymore to buy, my skincare line. I can get it from my own business, or I can get it from my friend's business who has some real science. If you know anything about our skincare products, it's just totally amazing, okay? It goes all the way down to the lowest level of your skin, where most products that are out on the market only go down the first 3 layers. Most people don't even know that. Most people that are in Manatech don't even know that because they don't go and listen to the trainings by Dr. Nugent or listen to Dr. Casilla, okay? That's important. So don't prejudge people, folks. Make that list. Put everybody on the list. Number 3 is get a list. Do you have a book? Do you have a sheet? Do you have somewhere where you're writing potential people down? And I'll show you what you can do in a minute with that. But you got to get a list. You got to start putting together that list. And then the 4th thing you want to do, and this is especially for new people, okay? And I talk about that in my presentation all the time. The last slide, like I always say, the last 2 minutes of my presentation is probably the most important, is get a hot list. That hot list that you're going to make right from the beginning should be the sharpest 20 to 25 people that you know. People that you respect, people that you know that are always, positive and have that, that attitude of like, hey, I'm always looking for something to create a better life for me and my family. You want to have that hot list and put it together. Then when that person has that hot list, we always tell people, make a list of 100 people. All right. Now, off of that list of 100 people, you want to take the hot list, that those people that are hungry. Okay. Like Les Brown always says, hungry. You got to be hungry if you want to be successful. So you want to take those 20 to 25 people, and then you want to either do two things. You want to invite them over to your house if you want to do that. Okay. Or you can actually just send them an email and tell them, look, I want you to take a look at something and give me your opinion. And you'll put them on a webinar, and I'll come on and do the webinar until you feel comfortable doing it yourself. So what we do is we bring your hot list, and you want to bring your hot list is ASAP, right to the meeting, right away, get the people in front of them and start showing them the opportunity that they have to have better health and to have an opportunity to develop a long-term residual income, okay? Because look, when I was in my restaurant business, once I got out of the restaurant business that I built and I spent years building and I got out of it, that was it. No money 30 years later. But you know what? If you build your network marketing business here, your Manatech business here properly, guess what? The work that you do in 2019 is going to pay you in 2029, 39, 49, 59, 69, and I'll still be here. I plan on being around. God says we can be around to 120. And I always say, God, please give me an extra 5 on top of that, just so I can remind people that they can live till 120. Okay, some of you are probably laughing, but, I believe in that. Okay, so get a hot list. Then you want to, when you're making your list, you want to break your list down. You want to have 2 lists. You want to have a local and an international list. So your local list should be everybody in the United States. Okay. Years ago, when I first started in this profession, a local list was within 2 hours of where I lived. Okay. But now, because of the internet, we can do a webinar. If you have friends that live in like Florida, you can bring them on. They can come on and watch the meeting. They live in California. They can come on and watch the webinar. They live in, Texas or Arizona, or they live, an hour from you. They can get on. You don't have to go visit them if you don't want to. Okay. So you make your local list. I call the U.S. list. Now, people that live in your area, those people are good to maybe sit down and have a cup of coffee with. Maybe have, a lunch with them. And, you can talk a little more personal if you want, okay? But if you want, you could just bring them to a webinar, right? We're going to talk a little bit more in a minute about, meeting people locally. And then your international list, look, you want to jump on this opportunity, folks. Like I said, we started a team just recently over in Portugal. Man, I'm excited about that. You know why? Because the new markets, people are looking for an opportunity where they can make really good money with U.S.-made products. That's really important to people around the world. And you might not realize that, but people are always looking. If you go to any tourist area here in the United States, you'll see them. Like I go into some of the different stores here. Like I'll go to some of the vitamin stores over in, there's an area here called Flushing, which is a Chinese area. So I go in there just to snoop around to see what people are doing. And you know what I see in there is I see a lot of people from China that are on vacation that are here. They're buying everything they can to take it back. Well, my goal is to let them know, look, you don't need to take it back and lug it back and have to go through customs and everything, because we have a warehouse over in China that you can get the products delivered. Now, we're in, 25, 26 markets now. That's not including Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands. Hey, a lot of people don't even think of that. The U.S. Virgin Islands, we send products there, okay? Puerto Rico is exploding now. They're starting to hear about our business opportunities there. So make an international market list too. If you know people that live in Colombia or Mexico, Mexico is going through the roof now. So how many people know people that from Mexico that are living here that you could set them up in business in the United States, and let's say they're just visiting here from Mexico. Well, guess what? You could sign them up in Mexico. They could build a business in the U.S. with people that live here, and that money could go back to them in Mexico. Okay? Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about here, and I'm just letting you know that there's an opportunity to build a business all around the world, and that's really important to understand. Okay? Next thing. So who do you want to throw on these lists? And remember I was telling you that you need to look at everybody, but some of the people that you're really looking at is you want to be you're looking for people that are interested in their health, people who are interested in their appearance, and people who want to have overall wellness, and you're going to find that, a lot of young people that are in their early 20s, they're not thinking about that. They think they're going to live forever. Okay. But there's some things that they like that we have, like our energy drink. Okay, the young people are all drinking energy drinks. The only thing that they don't know is those energy drinks are loaded with things that you don't want to be putting into your body. So now they can put an energy drink or Impact Plus into them, and they're going to feel good. They're going to work out. They're going to jog. They're going to run. They're going to bike. Whatever they're doing, they're going to feel great by having that, and it's going to help build their muscles and bring more oxygen into their muscles. I just had a guy go down to qualify for the disability, the Paralympics. And you know what? I just sent him some samples on the Impact Plus. And you know what? He wants to make sure they're legit for the Olympic committees and all of that. I told him he doesn't have to worry about the ingredients. So you know what? There's more and more people, like I say in my plan. The second slide in my plan says what? You want to be involved in one of the biggest trends that's happening around the world, and that's health and wellness. So you want to start putting people on your list, like retirees. You hear me say it in my plan. The baby boomers, you know what they're looking for? They're looking to make some extra fun money, I call it. They want money so that they can play golf, they can play tennis, they can go cruising, they can take their grandkids to Disney World or wherever they, take their kids in the other countries, because people all around the world will be listening to this. So what you want to understand is the retirees, and it's a big, big number of them, are looking for to start another business because they realize that they need more money, that their 401s, their pension plans, their Social Security, whatever government assistance they're getting around the world doesn't cut it. So retirees are looking for more. Your parents, sometimes we say, our parents, listen, your parents are great customers, and you know what? Some of them are retirees. Maybe they want to make some more money. Okay, so why not show your parents if you're younger? Okay, show them. Okay, your in-laws. All right. I know a lot of people, they always say, oh, I don't get along with my in-laws. Hey, listen, you want them around a long time, show them the Manatech business. Now, the millennials are a big organization, folks. There's millions of them. They're actually going to outnumber everybody soon. And what's really important about the millennials, between 23 and 35 in that area there, most of them are on, they don't like Facebook and things like that. They like Instagram and Snap and things like that. But the millennials, you know what 69% of them want? Freedom. They want the freedom to be able to do what they want, when they want, with whom they want. Okay? They don't want to climb the corporate ladder the way a lot of people in the other generations did. They saw the problems that happen when you're climbing the corporate ladder. I had a buddy that worked for like 20 years or 25 years in a blood center here in New York. And you know what? All of a sudden, boom, he's gone. And he had to go out and start over again, basically. So you got to understand that the millennials watched all of that happen. So they're looking for better security, and they want to dictate what they want to do too. And guess what they're looking for? If you go and look at most of the Uber drivers, they're in the millennial era, okay? They want to control what they're doing, folks. So you have the opportunity to expand to that. Also, young families. Listen, the young families, more and more people would like to spend more and more time with their children instead of having 2 jobs and things like that. So you're looking for young families that want to develop another income so that, they want that extra money that they can send their kids to pre-K. Okay? I didn't go to school till 1st grade. Kids are going to school at 2 and 3 years old now. Listen, my mother wanted to send me to kindergarten. I wouldn't go. I said, I'm not going. She said, you're going. Everybody goes. I said, I'm not going. I don't need to go. She said, look at the girl down the block. She's having fun. I said, I'm having fun right here. I'm designed to go to school with first grade, first to eighth. My mother looked at me like it was a lunatic. But she, I was the baby in my family, so she just said, the heck with it, let them go. So I never had to go to school till first grade. But the young families of today are not like that. And you know what it costs to send these kids to these pre-K schools? Whew, forget about it. It's like almost taking a salary out. All right. So you know what? These young families, you can introduce them and help them make some more money so that they don't have to worry about those expenses of sending their kids to all of these, pre-kindergarten, pre-this, pre-that, it's pre-life, Middle-aged families, what are they suffering from? Well, they're paying mortgages. The middle-aged families, you know what they're still paying? Yeah, their college debt. So you know what? You can help the people who are coming out of school that have the college debt maybe pay off some of that. Maybe they want to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month and put it towards their mortgage. Take the profits, put it right into the mortgage so they can get out of that mortgage sooner than later. Okay? That's really important. Families with both parents working outside the home. That's similar to what I was talking about here. I don't want to go over that again. And parents with hectic, stressful schedules. Those, like I said, those are people that are working 2-3 jobs just trying to make ends meet. Okay? So you want to make this list. All right? And this is just a memory jogger to help you, think about it. I remember years ago, Ruth took a whole bunch of us. We used to have a book when we used to have telephones that you dialed with your finger. So if you never had a phone that you dialed with your finger, you're probably saying, oh, man, this guy's like in about 1900. But listen, she shot us down with a book. It was called the Yellow Pages. And we went through each letter. Who do you know who's an architect? Who do you know who's works in a bus depot? Who do you know that's a carpenter? The letter D, who do you know that works in a drugstore? E, who's an electrician? F, works in a pharmacy? That's a P. Today it's an F. All right? But the idea, you get what I'm saying, but she took us all down. She sat us down with a group of us that were in the business for a long time that already our lists were all expired. But then when you started to think about coworkers, people that you used to work with, your list can expand every day. And that's why it's good to have a little book with you so you can be adding names to your list every day. Because you'll go to the grocery store, you'll meet a girl behind the counter who her name might be Eileen, and you go, oh, listen, I like that girl Eileen. You write her name down, and now maybe the next time you can talk to her, or you meet her outside the store, you might be able to say, hey, listen, I could use a sharp lady like you in my business. You ever keep your mind open, your eyes open to making some more money? Okay? So those are ideas and everything, and we'll expound on those at a later time. And here's a sheet. You can print this sheet out. If you go into your back office and you click on Success System and you go there to Fast Start and go through those tabs that are there, you're going to find all this material for you. Okay? And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you this web address here. I'm going to put it in the chat box as soon as at the end of this. And you should click it on download this PDF. This is Eric Worre when he talks about, how to contact people and all. You want to be in a hurry. You want to compliment people. I know Ruth and I went out to lunch yesterday, and, we were in a restaurant with her brother and sister, and we were leaving the restaurant. So 3 of us outside. We go, oh, where's Ruth? And her sister said to me, oh, she's probably back complimenting the people. And I said, oh, yeah. I said, that's great. Let me go back with her. And I went back in, and she was there complimenting those people. And it was so great because the next time we go to eat there, she might be able to start up a conversation with them. So always compliment your prospect, okay? So if you meet sharp people, compliment them, okay? And you might have friends that you think a lot of, and you might be able to say to them, hey, John, hey, listen, I always know, you're always thinking of being successful. You're very successful in your life and everything. I just took a look at a business opportunity. I'd love to run it by you and get your opinion. if you do that and you let him watch the webinar, here's the one thing I want you to remember. If he doesn't like it, don't give a crap. Don't give a darn if that person doesn't like it. It doesn't mean because people who are successful don't like what you do, doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just means that it's not for them. Okay? And that's what happened to me when I first came in this profession. For the first 4 months, I wouldn't even sit down and look at it. Okay? I didn't want to look at the profession. I was busy building my bar restaurant business. But then when I finally sat down and looked at it, I looked at it with a business person's mind, and I went, wow, why would I want to buy my vitamins for somebody else when I can buy them from myself? And if I do that and I share it with a couple of people, hey, and my vitamins could become free? Huh. It was a no-brainer to me, folks. Okay, so understand that when you're making the invitations. And then I love to hear is step number 4, if I, would you? In other words, if I would say to Steve, I would say, hey, if I, Steve, if I would lend you a video, send you a link to watch a webinar, would you look at it? Okay? So if I were to send you a link to a webinar, would you look at it? And then number 5 is you ask for the time commitment. When would you look at it? And then that's when I'm texting it to them. I say, hey, when are you going to take a look at it? You know, I did that with a guy that I met, a security guy, and I was talking to him, and I said, okay, if I send you a link to my webinar, when would you be able to look at it? He said, oh, probably tonight when I get home. He already gave me the time commitment, and I said, great. And as I was texting it to him, I said, great. What I'm going to do is you'll watch it tonight. I'll give you a call in the morning because he was working late. I'll give you a text in the morning, and then we can talk. All right? So that's really important. So